Okay, we're looking at one of your homework problems. Move my timer out of the way. And it's a binomial. It said a company prices its tornado insurance using the following assumptions. In any calendar year, there can be at most one tornado. In any calendar year, the probability of tornado is 0.06, and the number of tornadoes in any calendar year is independent. Okay. And use the company's assumption to calculate the probability that there are fewer than 2 tornadoes in a 22-year period. Okay, so either you have a tornado or you don't. Okay, so binomial. So just first of all, on your TI emulator, you'll be going to, let's see, on here, second large. You got two options for binomial. You have binomial PDF and you have binomial CDF. Now, if it asks you to calculate an x equal value, you're going to be using the binomial PDF with NPX put in there. If you're going to calculate a value, the probability that x is less than or equal to a value, then you're going to be using the binomial CDF or binom CDF with NPX. I'll show it both ways. I really like StatDisk because the TI, let's say that you have a greater than here, you have to have greater than, then you have to do the complement of this one. And that's not that hard, but StatDisk gives it to you either way you want to do it. And we'll work it both ways. So let's write down what we're given here. Okay, so that we know, so I need to find NPX. So I know that in this problem, N is the 22-year period. We know that P is the probability of a tornado, which is 0.06. And just for reference, if you needed to know Q is always 1 minus P, so that's going to be 0.94, but we don't have to have that, but just a general rule. Be just 1 minus, remember P and Q. Clear it out. Okay. Let me turn it off. 1 minus 0.06, obviously. 0.94. I use it just by habit. We always had to write it down. Okay, so we're wanting the probability that there are fewer than 2 tornadoes. One thing that you might want to write down, and I may have probably should have done another problem before this one, it's also nice to write down what are the possibilities for X. So in a 22-year period, let me just write this down, possibilities. Always good to know. Well, in a 22-year period, there could be 0, there could be 1, there could be 2, there could be 3, ... there could be 22. Because we said there could be no more than, the way they're assuming it, no more than at most 1. At most 1 per year. So, that's what we're looking at there. So, it's a good idea to see what your possibilities are. So, what I want to know is the probability that there are fewer than 2. Okay, what does fewer than 2 mean? Fewer than 2. So this is where I would pull out this little thing. Let's see if there's a fewer than in here. Yeah, there are fewer than 4. X is less than 4. Okay. Okay. That's going to be the same thing as the probability that X is less than 2. So, again, I like to write these out. Well, what is X is less than 2? So, what are those values? So, it could be 0, or it could be 1. It can't be 2 because this is not less than or equal to. Okay. So, because this is on the TI, you have to do less than or equal to. If I'm going to do the TI, I'll have to say, for the TI, I have to rewrite this, the probability of fewer than 2 is the same thing as the probability that x is less than or equal to 1, because, again, the TI has to have it as less than or equal to. Okay. So let's do it on the TI. So let's go to second bars. We know it's going to be a CDF. Okay, N, 22, comma, P, 0.06, comma. Your X is this value right here, where we had to rewrite that because this was less than, but it has to be written as less than or equal to. So this is going to be a 1. You're going to shut your parentheses. Okay, and you're going to point 6163. Does it tell me how many decimal places? Okay, I will add in there how many decimal places that you need. Okay, so now let's go to StatDisk. So let me pull up StatDisk. Okay, and let me get my document camera up here. I've got some stuff in StatDisk, so I need to clear it. Yeah. Oh, don't lose my document camera. Okay. I can probably put these side by side here, hopefully. It maybe lost that one. Okay, don't want to do that. Okay, let's go to analysis, probability distribution, like I have here. Go to binomial. Number of trials, that's N, is 22. The success or the probability that you're going to get a tornado is 0.06. Okay. 0.06. And the results are going to... I'll leave this blank because it's going to give you probably that x equals 0 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to do x or fewer or x or greater. Now we are looking at... actually less than or equal to 1, right? So here, and notice, look, x is less than or equal to 1.6163. Exactly what I got from the TI. That is. Okay, so let's see how many decimal places this thing wants. Okay, I'm going to put 4 in. 6163. Submit it. Okay, it gave me the correct answer, so I'm going to go ahead and put in these instructions, round to 4 decimal places. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.